Last week on the Poison Rana Patreon, we talked all about the ridiculous sci-fi adventure Krull, best match ever Kairi Hojo, and also had a look at WWF Survivor Series 1996.
And these are the baby faces, the Wild Man, the Stalker, Jake the Snake.
It's a fucking idiot wearing whatever the fuck the Rock's wearing. Why am I supposed to cheer for these guys? I should fucking call the cops on these guys. This looks scary.
Get this show plus NXT retro reviews, wrestling reviews, movie reviews, and so much more over at patreon.com/poisonrana. And it's only $5. So what are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for, huh? What are you waiting for?
First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking each day as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you can never really know what's up next.
Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Braden Herrington here with Davie Portman for upNXT, postwrestling.com, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, whatever podcast app you choose to use. And we are
Live on youtube.com/postwrestling. Hello, postmarks.
Hello, Poison Pals.
Hello, little tadpoles.
Hello, NXT friends.
Friends.
It is Tuesday night, so we are here on the Post Wrestling feed to chat all about some NXT. We're on the road to a deadline.
We are, yes.
Make that deadline.
We couldn't make our deadline today because there was an overrun.
Yes.
There's normally about 8-minute overrun, but the show, as far as we were watching it, went off at what, like 16 minutes past 10 tonight, something like that?
Like, I can never tell. Maybe like our feed here in Canada and satellites and stuff, you know, maybe we're always like a few minutes behind.
It definitely ran later than usual.
Felt
tonight.
way late.
Yeah.
Definitely one of the later runs. So maybe this is them testing the waters of when they go to CW, like, hey, 3-hour NXT?
Maybe.
Please, God, no. But yeah, I wonder if that'll happen when we go to the CW. Will they get overruns?
I mean, like if we're getting it on USA, you would perhaps, It depends how behind it they are. I mean, it'll be their sole wrestling product, won't it? Well, actually, it won't be.
That's
NWA.
Right. NWA seemed to the dust settled.
So are they actually on TV or just on the app?
I think on their app.
Okay. Yeah.
Right.
So doesn't count.
Yeah. So James Mitchell didn't ruin anything
right
for them. It is up next. We're gonna chat about some NXT. Hey, if you're listening to us, hit that subscribe on the Post Wrestling, but also search Poison Rana in your podcast app or on YouTube or poisonrana.ca for all the links that Davie and I do. We do so many different podcasts. We did a show on Sunday covering all the hoopla of CM Punk returning to WWE. We thought we would never have to talk about this man ever again.
Did you? Did you think that?
We never thought that. We no one ever thought that in the world of wrestling. So it's the biggest story coming out of it. We spent a lot of time going over everything, cracking some jokes, and definitely kind of maybe predicting where we see things.
Yeah, I think we can talk a little bit about Raw in a little bit after we've got through our plugs. But certainly that a whole lot to talk about this year when we'll be coming up to our end of year awards soon. And I mean, last year it was a toss up between Vince retiring or CM Punk being story of the year.
Right.
This year it's WWE being sold, merging, and CM Punk again.
Yeah.
And I think, like, November, Punk might have clinched it for this year.
He's still
for
got
2023.
He's still got about a month
He's
or
still
so.
got
He
about
can
a
punch
month
someone.
to do even, like
choke someone out.
as we suggested. Lexis King is right there.
Yeah, he couldn't escape the clutches of CM Punk.
Yeah.
He scared him away, and then Punk chased him to the Fed. But yeah, pretty crazy. And we spent a whole show dissecting the Survivor Series War Games as well over on our feed. And we do lots of podcasts over there, including Shot in the Dark. John Cena every week will cover all the other wrestling that maybe you don't watch. Ring of Honor, MLW, I think that's a thing he watches. Impact, and everything in between, even Women of Wrestling, which has actually kind of stepped up a little bit in the last little while. Maybe AJ Lee leaving WoW was just a blessing in disguise that all parties needed.
I mean, I'd place your bets now, or however you do it. It's easy if you're in the UK, but VPNs, offshore accounts, all that. AJ Lee making a Rumble appearance, do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. With a little call out on that promo, you could definitely see that. But Cino covers everything Shot in the Dark. I know Cino and B Detroit are going to record a new What Up Doe over on our feed where they talk about wrestling and video games and some hip hop and a little bit of everything else that they've been watching in pop culture and stuff. So those guys always have a fun show.
I know B's been checking out that Squid Game, the challenge.
I watched the
game.
first episode.
I've seen the trailer and I'm very curious. I kind of want to give it a go.
Featuring AEW superstar. Is she still with them? Leva Bates? Blue Pants?
Oh, okay.
I don't want to give anything away,
Right.
but if you're expecting to watch her in the show, don't get your hopes up.
Yeah.
So the library gets shushed really early on in this show.
Right.
To be
The
honest.
giant baby shooting thing.
Yeah, exactly. She doesn't make it very far, but she's in the first episode.
What Up Though is one of my favorite shows, podcast full stop. And I might be biased because it's on our feed, but I
Yes.
love listening to those two.
Yeah, I love the last one. They were going over the Spider-Man 2 video game, and I'm sure they got a lot to talk about this week. So that's coming out on that feed. And that's all some free podcasts. Over on our Patreon, Davey and I record so many shows. We just did a bang-up show with Karen Peterson, a best match ever, to talk about Kairi Sane or Kairi Hojo or just Kairi, where we looked at
So it's capital. So it's Kyrie.
Kairi!
You shout it. Yeah.
War Games superstar Kairi Sane.
Exactly. Yeah.
We're joined
Master
by
of the trash can lid.
Well, she's the lid and EO's the trash can. Yeah. They got that whole thing down pat. Karen joined us, and she's definitely the best when it comes to talking about the Joshi wrestling, some Stardom, and everything in between. So she curated a list of the best Kairi matches before her stint and after WWE, before and after and again. So we watched all these matches. Some of them are available on Stardom World, but some of them we linked as well are available kind of elsewhere. And if you're interested, check out the matches and then check out our show where we talk all about these and kind of go through the history of Kairi before her WWE and kind of the rise to how she got pretty popular over, especially in Japan. So that was a fun show featuring Karen and her dog Zelda.
Yep.
Shout out Zelda.
Making a Thanksgiving appearance.
That's right. Yeah. We also did a Survivor Series 1996 review.
Oh, yeah.
In spirit of Survivor Series this past weekend, where we looked at some fantastic matches.
Yeah, I think this was a Survivor Series both of us kind of feel familiar with because we've seen the Brett Austin match and we know about the Rock's debut and that.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I have seen it front to back. It was years and years ago and I've never revisited it since. Really fun review. I really enjoyed looking back at this show. Film 96 is a period we haven't touched on a great deal. And yeah, this was a good one.
Yeah, we talk about how Brett and Steve Austin have a great match, and then Vince hugs Bret Hart after the match and it's like, oh, man, I'm so happy that you're back here in the WWF. And it's like,
I'll never let go.
Survivor Series. This is Survivor Series 96.
Yeah.
Ooh, just a year later. We talk all about that.
What are you saying? Comments people make in wrestling can age badly?
No, never. Never. But yeah, that was a fun show looking at all the different Survivor Series matches as well. Shout out the Can-Am Express.
Oh, yeah.
You know, we're big fans of, was it Doug Furnace and
Phil LaFon?
Yeah, whatever his WWF name is. So that was a fun review that we did as well over on the Patreon just this past week. And hey, if that's not enough wrestling for you, we did some TNA shows in the week or so before that, but maybe you want something a little different. this movie might have some people's attention because we did the first in the series about a month or two ago, a little while ago.
Yeah, more than that, about half a year, something like that.
We talked about the Fellowship,
yeah,
but now it's time to talk about the Two Towers.
Oh, yes.
I know you're excited about this.
We're gearing up because next month is the 20th anniversary of Return of the King. So we're getting 2 Up Yours in. We're joined by Emmanuel once again to talk about the Two Towers. This is my favorite series of movies. Can't wait to talk about this. And then next month we'll be doing the follow-up with Return of the King. Yeah,
so 2 months in a row of some Lord of the Rings. So we're going to be joining Middle Earth for a little while to talk all about some potatoes.
And we love your feedback. Get geeky.
Yeah, hit us with it. Yeah, we know you people out there love all this dragons and stuff. So hit us up. We want to hear all about it. But
no dragons in.
Sorry, no dragons. Man, I'm trying. I'm halfway through it again. I've watched it in theaters. This one was, I think, my least favorite. But going into it today, I was like, okay, but
you haven't seen it since the theater?
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty. No, okay, that's not true. Like, I'm thinking high school, we'd probably like marathon.
I've seen this film a good 20 times.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna talk about. We're recording this tomorrow, but it'll be out later this week on the Patreon as well. So lots and lots of shows. It's only $5 to sign up, and you get access to all the shows in that back catalog. And if you are a world champ patron like Emmanuel, and you get to come on after, I'd say there's a little bit of a waiting list, but it's 3 months or so. But if you are a world champ, you get to pick stuff. We bring you on. You can talk all about it, whether it's movies or wrestling. And anyone who signs up to be a world champ in the next week or so, I will be messaging world champs because I want to send you something a little nice for Christmas.
And if you're waiting, please shout at us.
Yes.
Howie.
Yes.
Hello, Howie. Got your message the other day. We are getting to you. I replied today. But yes, we have a lot going on in our lives. We just hosted a Survivor Series party. We've got all these podcasts you mentioned, and sometimes our organizational skills might lack. So please, if you are waiting, if you feel it's been a while, message us. We won't be mad. We won't be like, hey, you're bugging us. Please,
absolutely.
Bug away.
Yes, our DMs are always open at Poison Rana Pod as well for all the stuff there. But yeah, lots and lots of fun stuff. And shout out anyone who came to our Survivor Series watch party in the 6 in Toronto. We've kind of got a little community going, and it's really great. And shout out to all the people who were saying really nice things, and glad that we did it.
It was awesome. We had the staff at Gabby's were really happy with it. Had one guy who is a friend from a neighboring bar quickly popped in to see what was going on during his break and came in and was like, want to buy you a shot? Had a quick shot, looked up. Io Sky is on top of a cage with a trash can on her head, jumps off, and he's like, well, I've seen everything I need to see. Have a good night, guys.
Yeah. It was wild. We had lots of people there and everyone just having a good time. And then, as we kind of mentioned on Poison Rana the other day, the CM Punk stuff definitely had people screaming as the venue in Chicago. But
I will say I rewatched the main event, and there were a lot of distractions going on Saturday with hosting one of these things. But on rewatch, I really enjoyed it. It wasn't. I still maintain you kind of want the quote unquote blood and guts when it comes to these war games.
Sure,
but it reminded me of that, which we've got in our archives, the Survivor Series 2001, where just the star power of that main event felt awesome.
Sure.
Yeah, And when you think like a year or so ago, you wouldn't have said that about Sami Zayn, Jey Uso, even Cody at one point, you know, and it's and it just felt really big. I really enjoyed rewatching it, as well as the Punk return.
Yeah, definitely watched that a few times. Loved all the memes coming out of everything. I had to do that dog over it because
I had to do the football pub exploding.
Yeah, it's definitely got a lot of people talking, and a lot of the people who are maybe the super casual fans definitely peeking their head back in.
So many people have because this has been on regular news and stuff, and I've had regulars of mine be like, hey, what's the deal with this CM Punk guy? Why is he so big? Why?
Right.
Because one guy was like, I look at him, he just looks like a scrub.
Yeah.
Why are people so excited? Why am I hearing about this? So definitely broken kind of that just the wrestling bubble to go
Yeah.
outside of that.
Yeah, I swear BBC News posted about it.
They did, yeah.
I feel like, sorry, there's fucking wars going on, but we have to talk about CM Punk. They're very, very funny, very strange. But I mean, that's how big this, I guess, was, right? The fact that this happened. Finally got to watch his promo on Raw. Definitely didn't maybe hit the way I kind of thought it was. I was kind of not really impressed by it, but then he said his like off mic line at the very, very end to end it. I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money. And I laughed very loud at that. So he definitely has the hook in a little bit there.
I'd be interested. So I saw some news coming out today that it was originally scheduled to get about 20 minutes and certain things. Apparently Triple H wasn't running the show last night. It was Bruce Pritchard.
Yeah.
And some things went a little longer, mainly the Dominik Randy match.
Yeah.
And so cut him down to have about 6 minutes of time. So it was a very like
kind of anticlimactic.
It was like he didn't. Okay, like let's say we assume by things coming out that there are like NDAs, like Tony Khan saying I can't legally talk about that, and Punk has kind of said like I'm not going to really address AEW.
Right.
There's still like you walked out on this company 9 years ago and said you'd never go back there, you'd never wrestle again. You had a lawsuit with the doctor and WWE. You got fired on your wedding day. I'm sure some more of this is going to come. And especially in this feud with Seth, I'm sure a lot of it is material they can use. I just felt like the promo felt fake, which isn't something I'd ever really say about Punk. Oh, I'm home. I'm glad to be home. Really? Because like not too long ago, you were saying you were going to die if you stayed in this company anymore, that it made you sick.
Yeah.
And now you're saying you're home. So it felt like, sure, that there are elephants in the room that they can't talk about, but there are elephants in the room you can talk about as well. And I want them damn elephants.
I think this could be stuff we'll never really know much about. Hangman Page today tweeting a photo. The song chosen just happened to be NDA by Meg Thee Stallion, which I've never heard that song before, but clearly
it's a bop.
Yeah, it's your favorite. Yeah, right.
Love a bit of Megan.
Yeah, you do actually, as do I. But I thought that was interesting because that was a day after the promo, so it's like, NDAs are a thing. So I imagine like your Tony Khans, your Hangmans, Bucks, whoever, Jack Perry's, all of these people that this guy gets in fights with.
Yeah.
He's not allowed to talk about it, and it's like, until what? When are we ever going to find out the actual truth? Of
I feel
things?
From AEW's point of view as well, like it's as much as curious fans, we want to know what happened. I think from their point of view, they need to move on from it, and they can't have this cloud, and they can't keep on bringing it up or whatever. So it makes sense. But yeah, you would have thought there would have been some sort of reference or something with Punk's promo. And
I guess,
and maybe now you've had him, you did that first week of Raw, like building up anticipation to have him speak at the end. Maybe he opens next week and gets to say a little bit more. But yeah, it just didn't hit the way I thought it would hit.
Did you say Triple H wasn't running the show?
No.
Okay, because I know I'm speaking for a lot of people. The second Punk was announced for Raw, I was like, wow, do I actually have to like watch Raw? Kind of was rumblings online that he was closing the show. I went, well, actually, I'm out, so I'll just watch it later tonight when I come home. And like I watched the Randy promo, and I was like, okay, I'm already over like this, because it kind of sounded pretty generic promo. There wasn't really much going on. Because I don't need to watch Raw every week to not understand how Randy Orton and the Judgment Day are just all of a sudden in a feud. But like that just kicks off. I'm like, okay, cool. But I fast forwarded like through the whole show in bits, being like, this kind of sucks.
It wasn't good.
Yeah,
it wasn't good. And I've actually been enjoying Raw recently.
Right.
And I think, like we mentioned, it's that Survivor Series, the star power there felt huge. And now you add Randy and you add Punk. It kind of, in a way, felt like that NXT with The Undertaker and Cena and all that, when I was like, okay, it's cool, they're on here, but the wrestling on this show isn't as good as it normally is.
Yeah.
And you should, like, with all the eyes, I'm sure they did a fucking huge number.
Yeah.
All the eyes, I just wish it was a kind of how the shows have been recently.
And then only to give the guy like 5 minutes at the end. It was like such a cop-out. And I don't know if you've seen this, but someone's basically obviously since the Punk stuff, people have been dissecting a lot of promos from Punk's AEW run, considering like Eddie Kingston and MJF and stuff and Punk himself. And MJF and him had this promo battle where MJF said, like, one day you're just going to go back and you're going to, and someone's clipped this. I would definitely recommend
PG
finding
Punk line, right?
It is like very on point to what Punk went and just cut.
Yep.
So I was like, damn, that's fucking nuts. So good on MJF, but still like MJF will join him down the line.
Punk is also still like a master on the mic, and it's week 1. I think we were expecting something huge, and the whole show was pretty underwhelming.
Yeah, as someone who's like, wow, I can't, like, how many people were like messaging and friends and listeners being like, wow, I can't believe I'm going to actually like tune in to check on Raw. I admit I love watching Raw on Twitter the next day. It's easy to go through and see what happened. And if I see there's amazing matches, maybe I'll go check it out. Specifically, Gable, definitely been loving the stuff he's been doing. But this was just like, I'm like, this is the show you put out when like you probably will have the most eyes in so long. And I think like a day removed now, so many people are on the same fence. Like, well, that was kind of fucking anticlimactic. Like, that's why I don't watch this show. It's 3 hours and they totally misuse our truth. They could have totally, our truth and Punk should have had an interaction to be like, our truth is just like, oh, hey, you're back or something. But I don't know. I was definitely like, this is exactly why I don't watch Raw. Is watching parts of it last night. I was like, oh man. And then, 5 minutes. Where do we go? Like, I imagine he's not on every show going forward, but
I don't know.
Like possibly wrestling at the Rumble, but like you can't jump to the Seth match right away.
Unless you do Seth at the Rumble, like a singles match at the Rumble. It feels like long to build for Mania. Yeah. Because it feels like kind of hot already from the couple of things they've already done.
Yeah.
But yeah, you could, I mean, I could see him in the Rumble as well. Like,
yeah, he should be in the Rumble.
Cody, Punk,
Seth throws him
Gunther
out.
At the end.
He beats Seth at the Rumble and then beats Roman at Mania. That's the way to go. Book him. Book CM Punk. Yeah, crazy that he's back, but like, how long will this last is definitely what I think a lot of people are also thinking.
Yeah, you definitely got that, like, when you've just, I don't know, we all have it at work sometimes where you might be getting a little like antsy with the boss or whatever, and you go, you know what, I'm just going to go in, keep my head down, do my job, clock in, clock out, leave.
Yeah.
And I get the sense that might be Punk in WWE.
Yeah, right.
Like, just going to do it, go in, do my segment.
Yeah, when's that next Saudi show?
Yeah, we'll see.
Can't wait. He should wrestle on it and wear like the CM Punk tights, but with dollar signs on it.
Yeah.
Dripping in blood. It will happen. He will wrestle there. I bet it will happen. That's pretty much what everyone in the wrestling world is like wanting to talk about.
You have thing. I mean, we had it come out today that Bryan Danielson headed the disciplinary committee, and that's a role that he's kind of been doing. He's been like the guy handing out fines as well and stuff. Like,
Danielson's been handing out fines. Can he handle?
So like, I think the other week, like Austin Gunn saw on TV. So I imagine it was Danielson is the one who's like, Austin, you got to pay some money.
Wow.
Saying that naughty word.
Who's giving Danielson the fines for like wrestling with broken faces and arms?
It doesn't matter. He's Danielson. But yeah, that was quite kind of interesting and made sense of that tweet he put out about sometimes the hard thing to do is the right thing to do and all of that. But it's still you feel it's still strange having an active wrestler doing that. Like, essentially it sounds like he's almost talent relations, like the kind of Johnny Ace role that he had and JR had for the longest time in WWE. But as a colleague, like as a wrestler and colleague and friend, it must be kind of weird and difficult.
It still had to be
but
TK.
We also know Bryan Danielson is a pretty like level-headed, like fair guy as well. So
like, it had to still come down to TK, right? Like, he's the one who put out the statement, but maybe because like, it's odd timing that it's coming out like around this time, like the day after Punk's back, but someone clearly like leaked this. And I mean, Danielson, I guess, is part of it, but it had to be TK down. He said he feared for his life. Feared for my life.
I mean,
I still
like, I haven't seen a whole lot of like people like fuck Brian at all. I'm sure there is.
Oh, there is. Yeah.
It is out there, but I don't follow.
It was deflecting the fuck TK. That's for sure. Like, but
like, no, the guy should have been fired. You don't
Yeah.
choke out people at work and threaten to kill your boss.
Man, it's gonna be.
You just don't.
I'm sorry, but like AW, you think the reveal of Jack Perry as the devil is like going to be some fucking big thing? I don't know if it will be for them, and I'm thinking that's the route it goes.
Maybe now
Switch course.
there could be a swerve, and the devil is QT Marshall.
Oh no, it can't be him because he's going to show up and help Cody train for something for Mania with Arn, and Arn's gone too, right?
Has Arn got?
Oh yeah, baby.
When did Arn go?
I'm pretty sure.
No,
Arn
Brock
left.
went.
Yeah, but didn't Arn go with him?
I think Arn is still employed.
We're getting the Nightmare family reunion.
What's Lee Johnson doing?
He just got married, right?
Oh, did he?
To Julia Hart, right?
What?
Aren't they together?
Aren't they like 12?
No, they're like early 20s, maybe something like that.
Yeah.
I'm
just a late developer.
Yeah, don't get mad at other people's happiness. I think we'll just get the whole Nightmare. What's Goldie doing? Dustin.
Oh, he's not Hall of Fame yet, is he? He's got to be inducted. into the
Right.
Hall of Fame.
Yeah. He's counting down the days for his contract to end. So
maybe it was Cody's choice. It's like, no, I can't finish the story yet.
Yeah.
I need
QT.
I don't need a friend. I don't need a tag team partner.
I need my brother.
I need my brother.
Yeah, that's how he beats Roman. His own bloodline. The
Yeah.
Nightmare bloodline.
The Nightmare Bloodline.
To face. Yeah.
Love it.
QT Marshall coming home.
Yeah.
He could be a great trainer in NXT. I know we do a show called Was Next where we go through retro NXT, and we've talked about QT a few times. Gun to my head, though, could not tell you his NXT name. It was like Anthony Maselli. I have no idea.
No idea.
Tony Maselli.
But yeah, kind of interesting, like reading between the lines, saying like, you know, kind of the creative changes in AEW are not like what he was wanting, basically, and time to move on.
Punk said, yo, QT TV sucks.
Yeah.
You know
made
what?
him sad.
Punk isn't always right,
Yeah.
but sometimes
that's
Punk is
a
right.
fair thing. And especially like it being attached with Powerhouse Hobbs, isn't it? Right? Yeah, that's completely right. I don't know if QT wants to just be a trainer though. I feel like he wants to be
he
the
wants
guy.
to be he's like a champion right now.
Yeah.
In like AAA or something.
AAA, yeah.
Yeah, so
I
I liked that match with Penta. That was a wild match. Underrated.
maybe
match.
the new and improved TNA in January. QT Marshall.
I'd say he goes
QTNA Marshall.
I say Cody gets him a job.
Yeah.
I say he comes in. He
ain't wrestling in WWE though.
He's not
That's
wrestling.
the thing.
but-
Like, does this guy want to wrestle,
yeah.
or is he happy with like an office backstage training job and wear a tracksuit and walk out coach?
I mean, like
I take that. But
if a local like wrestling company here were to be like, yo, QT Marshall is coming in, I'd probably be like, yeah, we're going to go see QT Marshall. So like, you know, maybe he'll have a hot indie run.
Yeah.
Join the Bullet Club. I don't know.
Talking of local wrestling shows.
Yeah.
This Sunday, December 3rd, at the Don Kolov Arena in Mississauga,
That's right.
we will be going to see Destiny times OVW.
Yes.
Yeah.
So excited about this. Shout out Destiny Wrestling, who've invited us, and we gave away some pairs of tickets this past Saturday at our Survivor Series watch party. And this is going to be great for anyone who's a fan of the wrestlers on Netflix. I definitely instantly became a fan of this show, like the characters in it, the great documentary style, like getting into all the people.
I finally finished it the other day,
it's great.
and they made Al Snow's match look like the most epic,
It's like Ric
thing
Flair's last
ever.
match. Yeah.
It was incredible.
Yeah, again, the magic
Him
of
going
Netflix.
for that crossbody and
Love
everyone
it.
just cheering.
Oh man,
It felt like watching the Mickey Rourke.
yeah, it was
The way it was
great.
shot, it was brilliant.
I can't. They need to do more seasons of this show.
Yeah.
Definitely love it. But I've definitely fell in love with that show and in love with the characters and OVW. And since this show, OVW's picked up. They've been like doing pay-per-views and touring a bit. So they've kind of cross-promoted with Destiny, which is a local Toronto fed here, and they're going to be doing this show on Sunday, December 3rd. So tickets are still available. And
DestinyWrestling.ca, and come and hang out. We'll be there.
We will
having
be
some
there.
fun.
Absolutely. We might possibly try to get some interviews from some OVW people as well, from the wrestlers, because, we just really love the show and can't wait for this. So possibly see you there. this Sunday.
Absolutely.
I mean, we went to a Demand Lucha show about a week or so ago, and it was at Lee's Palace, the iconic venue in Toronto, and we saw Jody Threat versus Gringo Loco, which turned into like this war of a match.
Gringo's turned heel on us.
Yeah, Gringo. We're still kind of the only ones who cheer.
Gringo guys.
Yeah, as I'm wearing this hat, I think right now. But yeah, Demand Lucha is doing a show on the 14th in Toronto in December on the Thursday, and they're doing a ladder match, Cartwheel versus Gringo, and I'm excited.
It's gonna be nuts.
I am definitely intrigued of how they're going to set up the ladder stuff, but I am so into this. So you'll find us at that show as well, you locals out there. So support your indie wrestling.
Absolutely.
Gringo's finally getting that match with Moxley. We keep saying that.
Is he though?
Because Moxley fears Gringo.
Yeah,
that's what Gringo's been tweeting.
Nice. Yeah, I'd definitely like to see that.
I will be
we're
watching
big
that.
Gringo Loco fans.
I know, like people getting geared up for WrestleMania stuff. There's obviously GCW will be doing a whole bunch of shows. DDT has definitely announced they're doing a show that weekend as well, which I'm sure you'll get some crazy crossover promotion stuff. But I'm hoping for a Kaiju big battle, which might be one I would definitely want to check out. But some of the indie wrestling right now is definitely funny and ridiculous because finally Santana Jackson is getting his flowers. That fucking Michael Jackson impersonator.
Oh,
dude.
yeah?
Like he's I keep seeing him on Twitter. He's booked at all these different shows.
Nice.
He's so funny. It's one of the most ridiculous gimmicks, but I love it. So go watch that if you haven't.
Well, shall we get into a bit of NXT?
I think so.
All right. NXT from November 28th, 2023, live from the Capitol Wrestling Center in Orlando. And we open with a tag team championship match. Tony D and Stax taking on Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo. And as the Garzas are making their entrance, Stax and Tony attack them from behind.
Ooh.
If you remember last week, they were jumped after their family dinner. And well, now they're repaying them. And this just starts all this chaos, brawling around the ring. They finally get to the ring, and it's a really fast start. Tony launches Stax into like a conhilo to the floor to take out the Garzas. There's then if you remember the Batista Bomb RKO combo thing.
WrestleMania 30?
Exactly. Stax and Tony do this, which looked pretty impressive. The like power bomb into the neck breaker. There's then a big belly-to-belly suplex from D'Angelo. And then Stax comes in, just looking so impressive here with his drop kicks. Goes for a big elbow in the corner, but Carrillo moves and manages to get the tag to Garza. And now Garza comes in showing some nice aggression. He hits a sunset bomb off the top to D'Angelo and then just dumps Stax off the top rope. And then after the commercial break, we see the Garzas hit the move where Carrillo sits Stax on the apron and Angel just charges at him with a knee. Looked really great.
Yeah, it's like and then the guy's just like hanging there in the ropes. We've seen him do this a few times. It's almost like a finisher. Like
it should be.
Yeah.
Except you're in the ropes. That's the problem.
Oh, right.
D'Angelo then makes the hot tag with a bunch of suplexes. He hits an exploder in the corner. And then Stax comes in to try for a roll-up, but gets hit by a big knee. He hits a big knee and a running uppercut to Garza. And then there's a sunset flip from, I think this was Carrillo, into a deadlift powerbomb. And as he's holding him, Angel comes off the top with the missile drop kick, like a doomsday missile drop kick.
Yeah.
This looked really impressive here. D'Angelo then comes in with a spine buster. And then there's a modified DDT, kind of like the Christian one where you fall forwards with it.
Yeah, but like a normal DDT falling forward.
Yeah.
I feel like someone used this as a finish and then they quickly moved away from it. But yeah, this move, I like it the Christian way better.
And then he does like this stomp, but with the knee. Didn't quite get all of it. And then Angel Garza hits the J Driller, like the butterfly pile driver, which I thought was banned in WWE because
definitely haven't seen this in
Cody
WWE.
would do this in AEW, and whenever he's teased doing it, he's just done like the shoulder breaker with it.
Yeah.
So interesting that
Daniel
Garza,
Bryan's going to give him a fine.
Yeah.
That's a different show.
Maybe. But Stacks kicks out from this incredible looking pile driver.
Yeah, sorry. Like, get to the finish because I was like really shook here. Wait, what?
The family then hit the bada bing, bada boom. Tony picks up Stacks, kisses him on both cheeks.
I love you, my brother.
Launches him over the top rope into another hilo onto Carrillo, and then gets the pin on Garza. 1, 2, 3. The family retain.
Okay, like there was some great action, and I think all four have definitely stepped up. Loving all the different tag team moves, but this guy hits the J Driller, the butterfly pile driver, which it looks insane, and dude kicks out of it. But the finish is this bada bing, bada boom, which is pretty much a back body drop.
Yeah. You get him pretty high with it, but still, it's not the most impressive looking.
No. So, like, okay.
Like the powerbomb neck breaker looks cooler.
I'm assuming he's not supposed to do that move because we've never seen people do this move in WWE.
Do you think he was going for more of an angel's wings and Stacks just
I
decided
mean, yeah, he's
to
Angel Garza, right?
drop on his head? Like,
yeah, possibly Angel's wings would make sense, but yeah, like that. If we're allowed to do that move, then make that your finisher right away. And put some respect on Jay Briscoe, the J Driller as well. So like, yeah, I was shocked he hit that move and thought that had to be it, but then he kicked out. It was like when Punk just hit Cena with the pile driver one time. I was like, whoa.
We'll talk about that next month, hopefully.
Yeah. But you know what? Pretty hot match, as I kind of said. I really do love all these guys. Stacks is someone that I'll say every week gets thrown into this silly gimmick, but he impresses every week. And the Garzas, man, Carrillo and Garza are just incredible. And you kind of said as we were watching tonight, like this might be a little bit of their write-off if they don't win, because there's someone on the main roster that might be looking for some partners.
Yeah, the sides are definitely unbalanced with Santos versus the LWO. And I think kind of sending these guys to NXT to find their meaner side. And I think that's something we've seen from both this match and that TLC match they had with the Creeds.
Yeah.
They can wrestle a really good, like, aggressive style, which will completely fit with what Santos is doing right now.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this match. I think this might be the best that the D'Angelo family have looked in ring.
They've stepped up.
Like, they just all worked with such a, like, intensity and speed. Like, this match, there were no, like, you know, rear chin lock as we go to commercial break. It was just go, go, go from before the bell even went. And some really impressive moves from both teams. I think Stacks just, the speed he worked at in this match, he was just like a pinball going off in there. And D'Angelo's definitely showing more than, you know, when he came in and was the singles guy, it was a lot of punch, kick, the odd suplex, whereas he's picked it up as well. I was really impressed with this and thought it was a great open to the show.
Yeah, for sure. I do think we see these guys go back to main roster. They're way more than ready for that.
I think so.
Yeah.
And now they've got proper characters, not just silly, you know, we're Los Lotharios and
looking for the ladies.
We kiss women. Like, it's going to be way better. Like,
I did like that.
Yeah, but they can step into a pretty hot feud already, I think. Think of the tag matches against, like, Raul. Sorry, what's his name? He's still Raul Mendoza to me.
Yeah. Legado.
Cruz del Toro and Joaquin.
Of course. How could
Phoenix.
I forget?
Yeah. Wild. We get an earlier today where we see Idris and Malik and Axiom and Nathan Frazer in the locker room, and they're kind of rewatching that. They always rewatch last week's NXT
on Tuesdays.
I think they've got the like BT Sport, TNT Sport that do the replay from the week before. Maybe
it is a casual thing. They always are watching last week's episode like today.
Yeah,
like, so that's something that is common, and not just in NXT. I feel like that's just wrestling. Like, they're rewatching.
For the rest of us, we're like, there's so much wrestling. Like, when do we ever rewatch?
Because, like, you know what? I don't want to expose, but like, we all know wrestlers backstage, if there's other wrestling on, are probably like us and are probably watching wrestling that's happening somewhere else as well. Someone at our watch party had the phone propped up watching fucking Collision while Survivor Series was on. I was like, okay, now I've seen it all. So, yeah, anything is possible.
So they're watching the Ilia Baron Corbin segment from last week, where Corbin is kind of mocking Ilia for, you know, leaving his family in Germany and like doing it all for them. Whereas Corbin has everything. He's got his family. He's got his big house, the cars. And Frazer is saying, look, Ilia's sacrifice is admirable, but like Corbin has everything. And to be honest, I think I'd rather be a Corbin and have everything than like nothing and all these sacrifices that Ilya's doing. And Ilya basically walks in and goes like, what the fuck did you say about my family?
Keep my wife's name out your mouth.
And he goes, oh, you think Corbin's doing it the right way? So I'm doing it the wrong way? You lack respect for what I'm doing? And Frazer's like backing down. No. I'm just saying, like if I'm having ambitions, I'd like rather be like that. But I completely respect you. And he says, yeah, well, you respect me to my face and then talk about me behind my back. And Ilya says he knows a way to solve this. So they're going to have a match later tonight. But they kind of played off their history in NXT UK and that these two are normally quite friendly together. And Ilya here just looked like he wanted to murder the guy.
Yeah, which he will. But definitely excited about this matchup. Another like Easter egg is like while this argument's happening, like Axiom, Idris, and Malik are all like shocked at, like scared of Dragunov saying all this. But you see Boa and Dante Chen walk by with the face paint, and Idris and Malik look like really confused. And then as Ilya keeps going off, so they're still planting the seeds of Tian Sha reunion.
Wendy Chu must be ready soon.
She's still napping.
Yeah. We see Jerry Lawler, who's the Hall of Famer this week, to pick his picks for the Iron Survivor Challenge.
He shaved his goatee.
He did, yeah. Jerry Lawler, huge NXT fan, picked Bron Breakker, Eddie Thorpe, Kelani Jordan, and Kiana James.
Be honest. You think Jerry Lawler knew who Eddie Thorpe was?
Fuck no.
I'm pretty sure you hear like a blatant edit when he's like, and this week I choose Kelani Jordan because I think Kelani Jordan will win the.
They chefed him.
Yes. So like, yeah, Jerry Lawler definitely ain't watching NXT, but bless him. Love it.
We then get a video package highlighting Johnny Gargano and all his North American title wins, being is he the only 3-time champion?
I believe so, possibly. Yeah. So remember, Dom is basically baby facing himself, saying, Wes, if you can beat 3 former champions, you'll get a shot at this. So Johnny Gargano being the first opponent in this triple fatal 4-way, Bronson Reed and Cameron Grimes. But Johnny's video here showing like his 3 North American title wins, beating Ricochet, beating Priest, and then beating Leon Ruff. Remember Leon Ruff?
I do,
Never forget. Winning it back from him, which Johnny definitely was the North American champion guy for quite a while. He had some great runs and matches with that.
And also he tweeted out earlier that this will be his 105th NXT match and will be like, it's a record breaking one. Wow. I'm trying to think who would have had like,
he's Mr. NXT.
Who's number 2? Who's had 104 matches in NXT?
Yeah. Well,
can't think. But yeah.
Chris Christopherson's son's not on that list yet.
No.
You still better watch out, though. Punk's gonna beat his ass for no reason.
We see Brooks Jensen and Fallon Henley congratulating Josh Briggs. Again, they didn't congratulate him last week. It's a whole week later. They're like, "Hey, well done on winning your match."
That's because remember they did kind of, but they're still like,
yeah. So Briggs is like, "Yeah, this is the biggest moment of my career." And you see, like, Jensen kind of take that as maybe a bit of a slight because,
like what do you mean biggest match?
They won the tag titles together and the UK tag titles together and stuff. And he's like, "Oh yeah, no one believed in me. No one thought I could do it." And Fallon and Jensen are like, "Yeah, we have the whole time.
We believe in you.
Yeah. I know you guys. So still kind of playing a little bit on tensions, maybe jealousies between these two. But Lexis King comes in and mocks Brooks Jensen for not getting picked in by any of the...
Yeah, no Hall of Famers selected you. Sorry, too bad B2's not a Hall of Fame.
Did anyone pick Lexis King?
No. Did they? Is he not in this thing?
I don't think he's in this thing, is he? He cost Carmelo.
Right.
He's but not even I just go, yeah, you didn't get picked either.
Right, yeah.
So, and... yeah, he kind of does some weird... He keeps on being flirtatious with all the women in NXT.
Yeah, he's Mr. Riz.
But sleazy.
The Riz King.
In a sleazy way. And this basically sets up a match between... Well, Briggs sets up a match between Jensen and Lexis King for later in the night where, again, you kind of got to look from Brooks, which was like, oh, you're setting matches up for me.
And
Fallon ends with yeehaw, bitch.
Yeehaw, bitch. Yeah, I loved that they said you and your beard can like take a hike here because everyone loves it.
It's getting even more ridiculous.
It's becoming my new favorite thing. I know every Tuesday this boy's going, getting lined up, getting that crispy lineup, and then posting the photo. So every Tuesday you get the new Lexis King drop where it's just the selfie, and every Tuesday going forward you will see us post this photo, repost this photo. It's just glorious. The more this guy posts his face every day, the more I hate him, but in this weird way, I'm really starting to like him because he's terrible.
Like he's getting a reaction, which is good, and it's more than
look at his fucking.
It's more
face.
than a lot of this roster has. Like he knows what he's doing. I think.
Oh man, this guy,
but he's
lineup.
So hateable.
Oh my god, this guy then says like he leaves this like promo, and he's like, sounds like a party. Like oh my god, like the Riz is just it's you can't teach Riz like this. I don't. Although like we're not journalists and reporters and all this stuff, but you ever follow someone on social media, like maybe you got a crush on someone, right? And they post a photo, and like every time they post a photo you see someone comment on it, but it's always like the same guy, like in their like photo comments, like oh looking good queen, yes slay, or like heart face emojis, but like usually that person isn't the one who's actually like dating that person, right? Okay, because Lexis King, our up next detectives on the case, Lexis King loves to post comments on Lola Vice's social media. So like again, not speculating things, but he may in fact have Riz, he may have none.
Oh, he's absolutely got none. He thinks he has it all. And you see these people out and about on fucking King Street and stuff. That
the Riz King, Lexis
and
King.
They're embarrassing.
Yeah.
But,
I mean, bless him if there's by any chance. But you're saying there's no chance about that.
I don't think so. We get a video of Nikita Lyons training. It looks like she's ready to return to action, and she is shown in the crowd in the NXT universe. And we go to our first Iron Survivor Challenge qualifying match of the night. Kelani Jordan taking on Kiana James, Jerry the King Lawler's two favorite NXT wrestlers up against each other.
He had to know who Bron is. He's like, oh yeah, Scott's kid. They're like Rick's kid. Close enough there.
Kiana does her kind of backflip into a running shoulder in the corner. Kelani, she keeps doing these like diving forward rolls over her opponents, which looks pretty nice. Does that into a drop kick. And then Booker just brings up not winning at WrestleMania 19 and how it still eats at him. It's like, yeah, Book, we all agree.
It all eats at us. Book. Yeah. We weren't even there, Book, and it hurts us.
Yeah. It wasn't just you losing. It was the 20 seconds before Triple H pinned you after the pedigree. And then you lost. That's what eats at me. Yeah. But I don't know what this had to do with Kelani Jordan versus Kiana James, but it got to him.
Yeah, that's something he holds on. He holds a torch for still. But like she then hit one of his moves. But
there's like a really nice sequence where they're just doing the running leapfrog drop kick, diving over each other. Kelani does a move where it's like a kind of 619, like the swing through the ropes into an arm drag. And Kiana blocks it, but then Jordan manages to get out and hits it anyway. Then hits a head scissors to the floor, rolls James into the ring, but James kind of rolls to the other side. And as Kelani goes after her, James flapjacks her face first into the announce table. And then back in the ring, we've got a handspring elbow and kip up combination from Kelani. And then I think what you were going to mention is the Houston hangover,
Harlem hangover.
Yeah, the like somersault leg drop from Kelani here.
Love this move. Always loved Booker when he would do it, but always used to give it to my guy in the creative wrestlers in the video games.
And then James comes back with a big spine buster. They start trading forearms. There's the overdrive from Jordan for a 2 count. I mean, she's excited. Randy came back, so got to pull out some of Randy's old moves.
MVP. Who else used to do this? Is that it?
Bo do this briefly?
Oh
I can't
God, he
remember.
would.
Yeah. But Kiana comes back hitting the
401k.
401k, goes to pin Kelani when we hear the bell ring, and we see Roxanne Perez is ringing the bell, distracting Kiana, who cost her Iron Survivor Challenge match last week. And then from the distraction, Kelani delivers a big roundhouse kick, followed by the split-legged moonsault for the win, and will advance to the Iron Survivor Challenge.
Yeah, and then she's selling it like it's a really big deal as well. You know, she's definitely stepped up since being in NXT, and Kiana has been someone we've definitely been impressed by and been liking a lot of her actual wrestling. So there was some really good stuff in here, like going back and forth. A lot of like the almost Osprey Ricochet, like diving counters kind of thing, back and forth.
Just like it.
No, but
I know what you mean.
Like it can look pretty like, Cirque du Soleil when you're like leapfrogging over people and stuff, but still it's wrestling. But love the Houston Hangover. I love how people in NXT, specifically Trick and Mello, which Kelani, being with Mello kind of, I guess, is like, I'll do Booker's moves too. But I'm surprised we don't just see everyone doing, considering he's just sitting there on commentary. But love that as well. And I do like her one-of-a-kind moonsault. She hits that better than a lot of other people I see do that move. And but even before she hit like a roundhouse kick, like that looked really good too. So you know what? She's really stepping it up. And I'm kind of bummed that Kiana also isn't in the match, unless maybe there's some sort of way she can get back in it, because I do think she's pretty good as well.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed with this. I think both of them are still like still have a way to go, but I think Kelani definitely just has a pure baby face, like natural baby face thing about her, which is kind of hard to teach. Yeah. And I think you just naturally want to get behind her. And Kiana, kind of the exact opposite, is a very natural heel. So I think they work together pretty nice. They're definitely improving in ring. And yeah, kind of excited to see their development going forward.
And a big spot, I mean, putting her on this PLE for Kelani Jordan, like that's pretty wild. You have Lash legend Tiffany Stratton and Blair Davenport.
Yeah, I think the women's one is definitely looking a little bit more interesting with some of the people in there, like from what kind of match is this going to look like? Yeah, respectfully, mainly having Lash in there, but who knows? They could all step up.
So any of the people who didn't win are going to be in the last chance.
Yeah, it's announced a little later.
We'll talk about it.
Didn't particularly like the finish with Roxanne on the bell.
Ring my bell. I didn't understand what because she's still mad at Kiana and like
Kiana cost her.
Yeah, so, you cost me, I'll cost you, kind of thing. But kind of not the most babyface thing to do.
No,
she kind of looked annoying.
We get a Cameron Grimes video package showing his win and showing about how he sort of joined NXT and his dad passed away shortly after. And actually, the last time we spoke to him was saying he signed with them and that winning the titles for him. We all remember the story back in, was it 2020, I guess?
Some great stuff from Cameron Grimes in NXT before,
We then go to Alpha Academy where Chad Gable is saying like, Noam, you won last week, but you did attack me after the bell and, the rules are the rules. And that he wants to get his hands on him again. And Maxine Dupree says she wants to get her hands on Lash Legend. And Otis like, I want to get my hands on Lash Legend. And starts gyrating, bless him. And then Chad calls Metaphor savages and idiots and proposes that next week they have a mixed 6-person tag.
So Maxine,
Otis and Gable against Lash, Noam, and Oro.
Wow. I imagine we're getting Gable, Noam one more time at the PLE as well, maybe?
Possibly, or on TV again.
Yeah,
maybe.
I think that would be pretty good. But yeah, Otis was pretty funny here.
We see NXT Anonymous, who managed to secure video footage.
I mean, a little late. Like a few weeks late, but NXT Anonymous, nothing gets by them.
He was in Cuba. He was on holiday.
Yeah, that's right. So this is the actual video they put the date in there. They totally did not film this today.
Yeah.
It has the date from that day.
And you see Trick Williams minding his own business when Lexis King is just in the corner, like hiding behind a flight case. I feel he might not have, but I feel like he was doing this with his hands,
Mr.
like
Burns?
plotting, like the Mr. Burns
Oh,
hands,
man.
and follows Trick Williams. We don't see him attack
No.
him. So
it's not him.
mm,
This is a total red herring here. This is totally classic wrestling. Like, look, the footage shows him going into the room after Trick went in the room. What it didn't show is like maybe he was already attacked in that like little window of like.
yeah.
I still think it's mellow because of what we kind of go
Yeah.
to after this.
We then have Andre Chase addressing Chase Hughes' allegations.
I will say, like, after that Trick video, because they're showing the attack, it cuts to Booker and Vic, and Booker is really hard on Vic.
Yeah.
He's like, you were the one who
You were-
insinuated it was
yeah.
mellow. You did this, and like, look, you're wrong. See, like the footage shows you're wrong. So I think they're really trying to get that over. Like, look, see the footage.
Yeah.
But then eventually, like, NXT Anonymous, whoever, will show the actual footage of the attack. Will be mellow. Yeah, sorry, I had to get that.
It's all good, yeah. So Andre Chase is here. He's arranged a press meeting.
Oh my
You've
God.
got all the best journalists there. You've got Dan Mather. You've got Izzy.
No, then
Uh,
all the NXT journalists.
you got that guy that Chris Jericho hit with a bottle. Like they're all there,
yeah.
and
Hey, they have the same mic as us at this press
They
conference.
do. They
the
have
Black
the
Yeti.
black blue Yeti.
Yeah.
And Andre Chase says, "I'd like to thank the Brian Danielson and the investigation committee who've been doing thorough work here. And I would also like to thank the support of the Chase U family. And it's because of them why I stand here today. And I want to address the news that came out last week.
He drags it out for
Yeah.
so long here at the beginning. Like he keeps saying, but you're like, okay, just fucking get to it. Say it.
And I want to address rumors of gambling and misuse of funds that has put Chase U in severe debt. And you see Thea Hale looks distraught. JC Jane's wearing sunglasses, so you can't quite see her.
When he admits it, she takes them off, and then he goes to questions. And when someone asks who could have leaked this information, she kind of makes a face in the background and puts her glasses back on.
But Duke is looking quite confused as well. And Andre says that it's true. And, you know, I'm going to work to restore the prestige of the university and I will be paying it back. And he's asked how this information was leaked. And he says, well, I do have my suspicions, but if this isn't taken care of, the uni is in jeopardy. And I want to apologize to my students. So
No more questions at this
no
time.
more questions.
Okay. So, okay.
I know where you're going here.
You want to talk about long-term storytelling
Yeah.
in professional wrestling?
Oh yeah.
Look no further than this, because yes, the Chase University is now under investigation because of suspicions of illegal gambling activities. Duke Hudson's gimmick before joining Chase U, all these years that it seems now, he was
A poker player.
a poker player.
And was pretty bad at it. Remember he lost to
He lost to everyone.
Cameron Grimes, who had never played poker before and didn't know what he was doing. Yeah. I think Andre is taking the blame for Duke. I think he's
Right.
protecting Duke here.
Yeah, clearly
He's like, look, we got to good heights. You're the MVP. You won us the tag titles.
right. But then you have a gambling problem.
But you got a gambling problem and you've been using school's money. You know, when Andre Chase was away for a bit, wasn't he?
Yeah.
So Duke took over.
right.
And during that time, he started his fucking poker ring, his gambling
Is he
ring.
fucking Toby Maguire?
And yeah,
Wow, this is amazing. I can't believe we're getting a payoff to this guy being a fucking poker player.
we need NXT Anonymous of, you know, Duke Hudson with Farouk and Bradshaw,
Yeah.
like gambling in one of the like Chase U like
yeah.
classrooms.
Oh my god. So the whole controversy here is that there's been gambling, and like, yeah, us hardcores know.
So I wonder if we're now
Poker
going to
player.
see a thing where, I mean, it's not like WWE ever really play up the winner's purse. You know, you win a match, you get a bit more money, but how Andre Chase has to keep winning matches to pay off this debt that Chase using.
Gambling sharks and stuff.
Yeah. just is a regular on Level Up, you know, just beating new PC talent to just get that winner's purse.
What is this? Like, so JC Jane came in here, started hanging around, and then Thea kind of reveals to her, so she leaks this information, and then they get caught, and that's how they've been funding the school. Is like Duke and Chase have been like gambling with their illegal poker ring.
Yeah.
They closed the one.
Do you think Chase has been gambling as well?
They say it's him, so you think he's taking the?
I think he's taking the bullet for Duke.
We sound like fucking idiots talking about this. Oh god,
I'm invested. All right,
I'm so invested into this, man. Oh my god. I told you I recently watched this movie about, it's like based on, people assume it's based on like Tobey Maguire and his gambling, Miss Molly or something like that. And it's all about like, you know, these gambling rings and pokers and stuff like can really like, there's a lot of this shit that goes on, and like people losing not only like their money, but like their house, their life, and like constantly happens.
Yeah, gambling's bad.
Yeah, I work for the gambling council. I know, you know. I just like, oh my god, they somehow like managed to like put this all together. It's just like I gotta give them a bravo. Last week I had to say like whoever's idea was to give Robert Stone's kids ponytails, like that got my goat. But this week they somehow beat that by tying in Duke Hudson's poker playing into it. I feel like my 2.0, like that was all paid off. It's all gonna be okay. So yeah, bravo to whoever came up with
Someone
this.
please find the pic of him in his Aladdin
that
vest.
fucking vest, dude. Oh, it's so good. Oh man, we didn't know what we had when he was a poker player. We it was too ahead.
I say like Sean on his whiteboard of like this chase you fucking story arc. It's like it's okay. What is it? Heyman said we're bottom of the third or whatever it is.
Trust me, this is gonna be a long story we're gonna tell for fucking years. That this guy is gonna join.
It will be the call up that pisses off Sean the most is when Hudson and Andre Chase get called up. He's like, God, fuck, I've been telling this story since 2.0. Let me pay it off.
Yeah, I could not believe that that's what they did here. But bravo, these people have been making me very entertained. So I don't know where we're gonna go from here.
I never know where anything's going on this show, but I'm here for the ride. Yeah. We go to our next Iron Survivor Challenge qualifying match. Eddy Thorpe taking on Bron Breakker. Eddy Thorpe coming in with his ribs all taped up. He's got injured ribs here.
I don't even remember.
I can't remember.
Is this involving the tree?
Maybe. Maybe. There's a big scoop slam from Bron. Bron just like Eddy Thorpe isn't a small guy here, and Bron Breakker's just throwing him around. There's Eddy comes back by drop kick and Breakker out the ring. Bron then catches Thorpe midair with that big Steiner-esque spine buster, then a double gut buster to the ribs, and now he's just attacking the ribs of Eddy. After the break, Bron has Thorpe in a torture rack, which Eddy slips out of and comes back with a cross body.
Yeah, I thought Bron was going to go for the shell shock.
Yeah.
I mean, we saw the Randy Orton move earlier. Ryback said that if Punk showed up in WWE, he'd retire. And then, I don't know if you saw his tweets, he very quickly backtracked.
When did he last wrestle anyway? Is he doing indie shows?
I don't know.
Yeah. And then Bron starts talking trash, calling Eddy nothing and an embarrassment. So Thorpe fires up, starts slapping him. And there's a flurry of punches and an STO, followed by a big side suplex, another side suplex. And then Bron just comes charging back with the spear, pinning Eddy Thorpe and qualifying for the Iron Survivor Challenge.
Eddy Thorpe is an interesting one because I feel like he's so hot and cold with some of his wrestling. In this match, I felt like he was just a guy getting beat up by Bron. And somehow Bron like showed me stuff that I don't see from him. He did the like leaping Kurt Angle, like he went for the Ron or the Frankensteiner, obviously, but like he's looking very quick and agile.
He's got a bit of a Brock Lesnar thing.
Very much
it's
so,
It's the speed and the power that just like you believe this guy could just kill you.
Yeah.
And
I really want to see Bron Breakker versus CM Punk.
Yeah.
I want to see him spear him into bag of dope.
Bron can't be like in NXT
He's
that much.
got to go up.
He's got to go up soon.
He should not be winning this match at.
But I do
Ilja.
like now the sound of this Iron Survivor. It's like just a big lads wrestling. You've got Trick Williams, Dijak, Bron, and who's the other?
We got Briggs in it.
And Briggs, yeah. So it's all big lads right now.
And then we're either getting what? We're getting Carmelo Hayes possibly, Eddie Thorpe possibly, or Joe Coffey.
Yeah, be mellow.
Yeah. It won't be Tyler Bate either. So,
But yeah, I agree with you. I didn't think Eddie really showed a great deal in this, but Bron looked impressive.
Yeah, I really want to get behind Eddie Thorpe actually, but so far it's like not too much. I love that fight pit underground thing.
Yeah.
Other than that,
He's definitely shown that he can have it, I think.
honestly, he needs just like some flashier moves.
I feel he also disappears. I feel like we have him in for a little bit and then he disappears for a
Check
bit.
on his trees.
He does need maybe a few more flashy moves, and I want to hear him actually cut a fiery promo. I don't mind the tree stuff,
Yeah.
but I'd like to see him actually like in ring go toe to toe on the mic with someone maybe to get a bit more personality out of him. We see Trick Williams who's so angry.
Yeah, our Degrassi moment here where they go into the locker room and he's like, I knew it was that Lexis King. He was trying to tear us apart, wasn't he?
And Mello's there like, yeah, and I'm mad too. And he's mad because he cost him from the qualifying match. And seems a bit more bothered about that than he did about Trick getting jumped. And Mello suggests, hey, he cost us. Let's cost him his match today. And Trick says, yeah, I want to get even, but, I can't be distracted. The deadline's in just a couple of weeks. I need to be focused on that. And King will get his, but I got to keep my eyes on the prize. And Mello says, yeah, well, that's all good for you, but I don't have a prize that my eyes are on. And Trick says, look, we're past the days of jumping people from behind. And Mello asks, we are?
Yeah, definitely.
And Trick
Eyebrow
says,
raising.
yeah, we are.
And
So
then-
given the hints that maybe Mello isn't past jumping for people from behind.
Yeah, definitely teasing the Mello did it
Yeah.
kind of theory there of the who done it, Mello done it. Loved Trick's Big Willie trucker hat.
He's got
Was
a
it
big-
Trick
big
Willie? Trick Willie, but
I'll get a Big Willie hat.
that'd be great. Should we sell that?
Sell Big Willie hats.
Just says Big Willie on it. No one will ever.
I'm down. People be like, what's it mean? Is it Big
I'm
Willie?
pretty sure it's self.
Work it out.
All right, coming soon
Yeah.
to a merch Big Willie. But yeah, I love the Trick Willie. I don't think they'll sell that one. Now we have not only NXT knockoff shirts, but NXT like knockoff hats. But this is a nice looking. Trick's definitely, man, like Trick and Mello, like they got something for sure.
Yeah.
They have hooked me completely, like completely turned around from how I first was looking at Trick. And I think WWE got something with specifically these two together.
Absolutely.
We'll be seeing them a lot through the years.
Roxanne enters the women's locker room, and where all the women there are doing fake talking acting.
Come on, you've been in acting. Like how blatantly bad is the? Well, everyone, and it's like you don't hear a single thing come. It's just
Loads of hand gestures because
Yeah.
I'm talking to you, but somehow both of us are talking at the same time.
Yeah.
And
background extra work.
and she's like, yeah, well, if I'm not in the Iron Survivor challenge, Kiana isn't either. And then Ava, who's like dropped the Gacy stuff now.
Yeah,
She's just a girl in the locker room. She said, well, actually, no, she's Shawn Michaels' best friend because she says, I've been chatting to Shawn all about this tournament that I wasn't involved in. And he told me that next week there's going to be a last chance match between the losers of the men's matches and the women's matches, and the winner will advance.
it's like, oh, thanks, Ava.
Thanks, Ava.
You were just talking to Shawn Michaels, were you? This all of a sudden she's like breaking news about what Shawn Michaels hasn't said yet. Like, obviously we were gonna assume that we were gonna get these, but I like how like Roxanne's talking and Ava's like, well, actually, and then like cuts in, and it reminded me of Wayne's World, where like they start talking to this like security guard, and security guard's like, yeah, see the guy in the limo is gonna go straight down the highway, then he's gonna go to Chicago, and then he's coming back through here. And they're like, and then they're like, well, nice talking. And it's like, that security guard had a lot of information. That's how I felt. It's like, you were clearly like, okay, we haven't done anything with you in a while. Why don't you let everyone know that we're doing those things? Why? Just do it. Okay. So like Ava Rain, who's not in this.
None of these women were. And then I couldn't work out who this blonde was, who then is like, yeah, and Kiana's in that match too. And Roxanne's just like, you goddamn Kiana. And there's just a big brawl.
Yeah, I don't know. I love the Degrassi shit on NXT. It's so bad. It's hokey. I love it.
We go to our next match, a massacre. Ilya Dragunov taking on Nathan Frazer. As soon as the bell rings, Ilya just jumps Frazer. He's beating the living shit out of him. He's hitting machine gun-like chops in the corner. And then there's even chance of Suplex City as Dragunov is just throwing him all over the place.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny. Like, he was literally just suplexing him all around the mat. It was great.
He's delivering elbows to the back of the head. Frazer manages to get a bit of offense in and then kind of catches Ilya with his speed. There's springboard drop kick. Ilya goes to the Constantine special, which Frazer like ducks and then goes right into his moonsault reverse DDT. This sequence looked really smooth, really nice.
Very fast, very smooth.
Goes up top for the Phoenix splash, but misses it. And then Dragunov just flies in with the kick, hits a big power bomb, and then delivers the H-bomb, that crazy falling knockout elbow, goes to the pin, but stops after 2.
He breaks his own pin.
Hits the H-bomb again, and then the crowd are chanting one more time, and he delivers a third H-bomb, pinning Nathan Frazer in just like absolute squash here.
I said, keep my wife's name out your mouth. It's pretty much exactly the story of that one. Yeah, loved it. Loved Booker T and Vic on commentary, like selling. Booker was like, yeah, like, shouldn't have said that. Shouldn't have said that when the guy was like around you, because you were pretty much saying like.
It was kind of like, I don't enjoy Nathan Frazer as a character.
Yeah.
But I feel this kind of made sense because he is young. He is a young kid, and young kids kind of get caught like running their mouth about stuff that isn't necessarily their business and then trying to dig their way out of it. And Ilya just teaching him this lesson here. I kind of want the match at Deadline to be this as well. Like, we're used to the 20-minute main event in NXT. Just have Ilya absolutely murder Corbin.
Yeah, I would definitely prefer that than actually sitting.
And then you could set up an angle, whether it's a debut of someone new to like, have like a fun end to the show. But like,
true. I don't think it's main eventing. The last year they main evented with one of those Survivor things with Waller. I could be wrong, but yeah. I definitely think that should be the route too, where he just squashes Corbin. I don't want to see the other Corbin match, but I don't think that's what I think they'll actually go.
I think we'll have a proper match.
Yeah, exactly. Corbin did show up on the screen after to like kind of add salt into the wound. Like, I do like that he's pissed that this guy is talking about his family.
It was Bron Breakker Apollo Crews in the main last year. Remember that?
No. I actually don't.
No. Remember they went fishing.
Right. Yeah.
So Corbin shows up on the screen and says, Ilya, I thought I'd make it easy for you because talking on a screen, that's what you're used to.
Oh, what a dig.
And you just beat someone you called a friend because he said my life is better. And it is. The one thing I'm missing, though, is the title. And after Deadline, you'll have nothing. And I'll send you to Germany, and I'll even upgrade your ticket to first class to be with your family. Ah, nice guy.
Yeah.
Next week, we'll be face-to-face. Enjoy your lonely night, champ.
What a dig.
Yeah.
Damn. This makes me feel for Ilya, but like also like Corbin's kind of right. Like, I got cars, kids, wife.
We see Lyra Valkyria, who's asked, what's next? And
it's up next, but thanks.
Yeah. And she basically says nothing, really. I'm just waiting to find out the winner of this Iron Survivor.
Yeah.
I don't have a title match at Deadline. And she runs down the competitors and she says, Blair is a very dangerous woman, especially if you meet her in a dark car park at night, and kind of just bigging up all the entries. When Fallon Henley comes in and says that she'll win the last chance and Iron Survivor, and her next match will be against her. She calls herself the Top Shelf.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think we briefly heard her say this before, but think about it. She's the bartender, right?
Yeah.
Top Shelf is all what I
Premium.
Yeah, exactly. So I like it.
And then Tatum Paxley, remember her?
Yes.
It took us a second.
Yeah.
She's in the background being all spooky.
It took us a second. You're like, who's that? Is that Roxanne? Who's that? I was like, I
Well,
don't know.
Roxanne was being weird all night. So it's like, as Roxanne just lost her mind.
Yeah.
But she's like peering behind the curtain and just being spooky. And I think Fallon asks Lyra, is she with you? And like, no. I'm kind of down for Fallon winning this.
Yeah.
Why not?
Fallon's been chilling far too long.
It's going to be a TV match anyway. So why not have do Fallon Lyra?
Yeah, don't forget Fallon Henley, Tesha Price, I think was her name. Like she's actually really good. And even in some of the acting bits that she's done in NXT, I've been a fan of. And she's at the end of the day, she's just doing it for her family's bar.
Exactly. Yeah. We get a video hyping up Carmen Petrovic, and she says Arianna might be a decorated beauty queen. Remember, these two are beefing.
Right.
But I'm a decorated 3-time black belt.
Third degree black belt here, and she's got the sword and like
She's
doing
like
all this,
throwing a sword around.
You know, it's pretty cool. It's definitely more interesting than some of the other like characters you see, like being like, yo, actually, like I'm fucking serious. I am trained in all this stuff.
I'll slice him in half.
Yeah,
sword.
it's very Kill Bill, right? With the sword. I mean, you do see her come out with the sword, and you're like, just fucking use it then. I don't like, but
we see Metaphor looking ridiculous as always.
Oh, this fit was great. Definitely stealing this one. I just got a new winter coat. Shout out Black Friday deals.
Oh, yeah.
But I need a hat like whatever Noam Dar was wearing.
It was kind of like the Sammy Guevara panda head, wasn't it?
But it was like
a bear,
fox or sloth or something.
So they're addressing Alpha Academy. They say, you're challenging us. And Noam says, you ran me close last week, Chad, and you're solid beyond belief. But Metaphor are better than Alpha Academy. We have passion, fashion, and we're a great team. And nothing would make us feel better than beating a well-established team like you. So we accept.
Called them Dafties.
Dafties?
Yeah. Is he allowed to say that?
What, daft?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing wrong with daft. So that match confirmed for next week. We go to Joe Gacy, and we're not quite sure where he is. And we're hearing a lot of like crowd noise and banging.
He's kind of upside down.
Yeah.
So at first I'm like, uh-oh, here we go. The guy who threatened to kill himself last week is now probably going to do something similar.
And he says, do you care about me? Not really.
Oh, man.
Did you forget that I existed? People think I'm beneath them or lower than them. So I needed a better perspective. And I'm done with caring what other people think. So I'm down here. And you realize he's beneath the ring.
Wow.
He says, being beneath you is where I'm wanted. This eternal struggle I have, new perspective is hard to deal with. And I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. Yeah.
So he didn't kill himself.
No. He just hid under the ring.
So now he's hiding under the ring, and he's going to be hiding under the ring for the next match.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. I was definitely nervous seeing him doing one of these like cam things again, where he's like, this time
Suicidal,
I'm like, oh no, yeah. Like if last week he's suicidal, week he might be homicidal. Like who knows what's next? Genocidal.
Yeah.
I was definitely like, last week was dumb. It definitely didn't go under the radar of stupid shit in wrestling enough, because like they were basically teasing a suicide thing last week on the show.
We both felt that.
Yeah. And this week, right away, without realizing where he was yet, you're like, okay, what could they possibly do that's in that realm? And something that came to my head was like, is he gonna like threaten to attack people or something? Like, I don't know what the story is, what it is, or why we should care, and we still don't understand after.
It's like his delivery is still the same as spooky Joe Gacy, but now he's just depressed Joe Gacy,
spooky Joe Biden.
Yeah, it's not that interesting to me.
No.
we go to our next match: Arianna Grace versus Karmen Petrovic, and
It's the Toronto Queens match.
Yeah.
Who's the Queen of Toronto? It's our chicks from the Six.
exactly.
Here, they'll find out who the real one is.
Vic Joseph is questioning if Gacy is under the ring, and Booker is like, "Go and have a look." Then
Go
and Vic,
check.
Vic goes, "I'm not leaving you to do commentary on your own. Shucky ducky quack quack all night.
No thanks.
No, you need someone with you." Book's like, "Nah, go under the ring. I got this."
Yeah, Vic was very quick to be like, absolutely
Absolutely not.
Not because I'm scared of that. I'm scared that you'll like. We're about to commentate on
The whole match
women's
will just be.
Yeah. What? Yeah, love book.
Grace backs Petrovic in the corner and tells her to show her some respect and kiss her hand. So she puts out her hand and Petrovic kicks it away. And then, but Arianna tries again, shows her hand again and says, "Kiss my hand." And Petrovic teases to kick her again. She's like hopping with the kick and Arianna's backing off and is like, oh, no. And now Petrovic tells her to kiss her hand and offers her hand to Grace. And then Grace stomps down on Petrovic. And this is where Joe Gacy emerges from the ring and steals the ring bell. Yes, 2 ring bell angles on this show.
You know how many there are usually on a show? None. And this show had 2 ring bell angles. So he stole it.
So he stole the bell and just ran away. And everyone was like, okay. And we go to commercial break. So now we're going
The match
in
is
commercial
over.
break. Is the match just over?
over.
There's no bell.
Yeah.
Like, so
We come back.
we come back and the match is going on. Petrovic is firing up. There's a big kick in the corner from her.
They just have to wrestle forever.
Yeah.
Fight forever. They wrestle forever because there's no bell.
She hits her like the sort of Robinson special, like the spinning kick to the back. And the crowd are now chanting, "Where's the bell?" Grace then pretends, remember she plays like the beauty queen,
Right.
that her face is hurt and backs into the corner. As the ref is checking on her, Grace delivers a thumb to the eye of Petrovic
It's more like a
A rape,
grabbing the
yeah.
eye and pulling on it.
and then delivers Wasteland for the win.
Ugh. One of my least favorite wrestling moves ever. Even Wade Barrett's like, yeah, it's pretty shit, isn't it? It's like
Yeah.
a fucking
Get them on your
body
shoulder
slam.
and dump them on their back.
It's a body slam.
Yeah.
You know, think about like when you're wrestling with your friends or like younger siblings and stuff. Like this is you just like, oh, just drop you down on the bed. It's like, what? It's one of the worst fucking moves. I don't understand how this move has to do with her character at all. Like it's just like
I'm like, I know they often want to get away from their parents for a bit before they like embrace it, but
Yeah.
doing some sort of like
Cobra.
the Cobra, but if you can make it like some sort of, you know, beauty queen thing, makeup or something like that. Like
Yeah.
you
I'd say like
put on like the long white ball gown glove before doing
Right.
it, that kind of thing.
yeah, the wave. When
Yeah.
you do like the wave and then you do it.
Exactly.
Yeah, one day she'll figure out how to get the Cobra incorporated into her moveset. But kind of a strange move. I didn't mind it. It was a pretty quick match. I want to see more of Karmen because like she's got like quite a look and kicking and throwing these things around and comes out the sword. That whole vibe is like, okay, I wonder if they could take that to a whole other level where Arianna's definitely funny and entertaining, but the wrestling maybe not quite
Both
there.
are pretty green right
Yeah,
now, but I
yeah.
think you see potential of definitely Arianna's character work has been impressive so far and could take her quite far because I think she's ahead of a lot of the division in that front.
Yeah.
But in ring, still a long way to go. Obviously, her injury hindered her a bit as well. And Petrovic definitely has the look, has the kind of background. I don't think, and I often find this with like, you know, legit like martial artists or whatever, their kicks often don't look that great, maybe because they're trying not to kick someone like they normally would kick someone.
Yeah.
You know, we've kind of seen that
yeah.
before. So if she can kind of improve that, it would definitely like work for her. But yeah, this was one of the lower points of that, especially with Gacy, who does eventually ring the bell.
So yeah, he rings the bell like constantly in the crowd.
Alicia Taylor, is that the announcer?
Yeah.
She's going to announce Arianna Grace as the winner, but won't until she hears the bell ring. So she's got the mic and is looking around, and then Gacy's in the crowd ringing it, and she's like, "Oh, thank God,
Wow.
the winner of the match."
So Arianna Grace is the Toronto Queen.
Yes. Mackenzie Mitchell interviews Wes Lee, and he says that they say the man defines the title, not the other way round, but I am so attached to that title. I have to be the one to take it from Dominik. And he says Bronson Reed floats like a butterfly and stings like a truck. Cameron always has a trick up his sleeve, and Gargano is one of the greatest NXT performers of all time. And says tonight, when Mackenzie says, if you lose tonight, you'll never be able to challenge Dom for the title. He goes, well, it's high risk, high reward.
Damn.
I like Wes Lee and Mackenzie's chemistry. They have nice segments together. We go to Brooks Jensen taking on Lexis King.
A second generational battle here.
Yeah, true.
B2,
and BP.
That's
right. Jensen starts this match with this crazy flying, rolling capo kick.
Yeah, like the spin wheel kick.
Like kind of Loki would do or whatever. And looks like he just clocks Lexis on the top of the head.
Yeah, I can't tell if he just actually hit him or he's just like staying down.
Because I don't know if it's, in character or what, but Lexis bells the outside and is like, fuck.
I did love that. He's like, no, not my teeth.
This looked great. Jensen then hits a high cross the floor. It looked like Briggs, who's on the outside, was wearing the Godfather / the Undertaker's pants.
Right, the snake skin when
the
Undertaker borrowed
skin,
it. Yeah, true. It was very similar. Yeah, maybe he raided his wardrobe, possibly.
After the break, we see Jensen hit this awesome-looking super kick, followed by a big missile drop kick for a 2 count. And this is where we see Trick and Mello are watching backstage. And Mello just says, I have to handle business. So he goes out there. There's a 2 count, and Mello runs the ring, but Briggs stops him because he doesn't want his boy DQ'd. And this allows, from the distraction, Lexis King to hit the coronation to pick up the win.
It's like a spinning neck breaker 2 from your Create a Wrestler.
It's
thing.
Okay.
It's not good.
Not great.
Yeah. Man, I'm trying to love up the Riz King. I'm really trying to get into this character of just how ridiculous this guy looks and the way he acts and the things he says. It's so stupid, but it's entertaining me in probably the worst way possible. But like, he still hasn't learned to wrestle.
No.
Like, his moves are like punch, stomp.
The thing is now it's
rest
because he's trying to, get away from, like, the whole character is, I'm
annoying.
Divorcing myself of my dad. Like, he wasn't there for me. Blah, blah, blah. I am not Brian Pillman Jr. I'm Lexis King. He doesn't do the 3 moves he had learned before when he was doing Brian Pillman stuff.
Right.
So now he's got nothing.
Yeah, he has no moves, man.
He's got no moves.
Like, he literally just did the neck breaker.
I like the character. I like the story of him being this just dick, but the wrestling just isn't there yet. I thought Jensen looked really good. I want to see them give a bit more to Jensen.
Me too, man.
We used to rip the shit out of this guy, and he's come so far. He looks great. Like, I love the hair grown out.
The mullet. Joe Dirt.
But yeah, his moves. He hit some big, nice kicks and throws and stuff. I think he's really come a long way.
The inevitable Briggs and Jensen breakup will lead to better things for both of these guys, hopefully.
I hope so.
I like the unit as they are right now. But yeah, this guy's like 22, recently posted. He's engaged.
Whoa.
We followed a whole storyline where
he was on a drinks menu and engaged in the same week.
He did tweet out saying he's got to come up to one of our parties.
He does.
Because you put him back on the Virgin Cocktail menu. You made the Brooks Jensen again. And someone tweeted it during Survivor Series, and someone thought that it was the menu for the Allstate Arena and tweeted out, I can't believe they have a CM Punk drink on this, right? So everyone was like replying to this guy's tweet. I couldn't figure out who had tweeted it, but they posted your drink menu, and people assumed it was from the actual venue. And people were like, oh my God, CM Punk, the Pepsi Plunge. But then everyone's like, yo, that Brooks Jensen drink is pretty funny. Brooks Jensen caught wind of it a second time now and tweeted out, I got to make my way up.
Because last time he was like, hey, that's mean. Now he's like, no, I can own that.
We did mess up. We do need to add his drink now. We need to put a double in it. Put it up to the alcohol since he's engaged now.
Fuck. We even at Gabby's have a whiskey called Journey.
There you go.
Oh.
Yeah, separate ways.
Yeah, whiskey
Brooks
mule.
Jensen.
But what I found interesting here, I think Mello is working with Lexis King.
You think he's working with him?
Yes. When Mello said, I've got to handle business, I'm pretty sure Jensen was in control of the match. And Briggs obviously stopped him. Like, he knew Briggs was out there and maybe wouldn't let him interfere to cost him the match.
Yeah.
And he got the win for Lexis here. So I think the whole thing is them working together. They're Rikishi and Triple H in this situation.
Interesting. Yeah, I definitely see that, because
I'm trying to think back if like how Lexis cost him, on whether it's all just a ruse or whatever.
Yeah, it would be weird if he got the match cost that he's not in it, so he would be pissed. That wouldn't make sense. But yeah, there's something going on. Like, he knows that it was not Lexis King.
Yeah,
like Lexis King is taking credit for Mello's attack, but Mello doesn't want to expose that it was him, at least just yet. But it will come out that it was Mello.
Yeah,
regardless if they are working together. But yeah, Lexis King hasn't improved in ring, but man, look at that fucking face. Look at that face.
All right, we go to our main event of the evening, and what a main event this was. A fatal four-way match, Bronson Reed versus Cameron Grimes versus Johnny Gargano versus Wes Lee, with Dominik Mysterio on commentary. The star power here, ridiculous. And the stipulation is Wes Lee has to win to get a shot at the North American title. If he doesn't win, he'll never get to challenge for it again. But we were kind of questioning this last week, and Dominik confirms it in quite a funny way on commentary, because Vic's going like, I mean, like, what if Bronson Reed wins and you got to face him? He's like, what? No, that's not what I said. Like, no, it's not a number one contenders match. It's Wes just has to beat these guys.
Yeah. Crazy, because these three are like NXT legends, if you will. And they all got a huge welcome back thing. It's weird hearing Gargano's music now coming out to NXT.
No one's gonna do it for you.
Show me the way. It's not great. I can't really say I like their DIY theme either, but you know, it is what it is. Grimes, they're pretty much like, hey, just use all this like Titantron and screen stuff from your To the Moon gimmick and the stocks and stuff. And then
people here will know what that is.
Yeah. And then Bronson's just
Bronson Reed's probably been the one that they've like kind of has had the most exposure on Raw so far. And this was great. Bronson starts the match by just squashing Wes, and then does it where he like hangs Wes on the top rope and just flips him off.
He did this famously to Ricochet a few weeks ago. Ricochet did get hurt from this spot, but I've noticed that so many indie people in the last 2 weeks have been doing this everywhere, and like that's just how it works. Like,
and it just takes out everyone else. After the break, we see Reed has Gargano up in this huge delayed vertical suplex. Wes then comes in with a kick. Now all three are teaming up on Reed to take out the big man. Grimes and Gargano launch Wes at Reed to take him out the ring. And now we're left with Gargano and Wes Lee in the ring. And you really feel the crowd get hot looking forward to this stuff.
Definitely got my interest.
They shake hands, a sign of respect before going at it. And it's just a whole sequence of them going super quick, both dodging each other's moves. Bit of a stalemate when Bronson comes in and picks up Wes in a Uranage on top of Johnny. And then Grimes gets back in there as well. And Johnny catapults Cameron Grimes head first into Bronson's Reed.
Oh, man. Great spot right here. So Reed looks like he's about to do like what? The sit-out tsunami, like standing earthquake splash onto Cameron Grimes. So Johnny then like catapults him, whose face is right under his balls. Yeah. So he headbutts face first into this guy's nards.
And this got a holy shit chant from this crowd, which is pretty funny. Wes then takes Reed out of the ring. Grimes comes in with the double Rana to Johnny and Wes.
Oh, man.
Always
crazy.
Looks great.
Yeah.
And now this sequence is fun. The three start like charging at each other in opposite corners. So like going for a clothesline in the corner. But as they go for it, that guy ducks and runs to the other corner to hit clothesline on Grimes, and Grimes will duck and go for a clothesline at Wes, who's in the other corner, who ducks, who then runs and hits this low-pace suicida to the outside to take out Bronson again. And then Gargano hits a tope suicida to take out Reed, and then hits one on Wes, and then one on Grimes. There's big Johnny wrestling chants. He hits the slingshot spear, and then Wes leaps off Johnny's back to deliver a Meteora to Grimes. And then Reed comes back from the dead and delivers this huge Death Valley driver to Wes Lee.
Oh yeah, I've been loving his Death Valley driver, seeing some of the stuff he's been doing on the main roster. Like, this is his finisher. Like, I love the Tsunami. They've definitely made that the move, right? But he has a pretty gangster looking DVD. He crushes dudes with this.
There's then a high cross from Grimes to Reed, and then Reed just manages to, he gets, I think it's like Gargano like in front, and Cameron Grimes on his back.
So now he's got Johnny in like a power slam front.
We've seen the like fall away slam Samoan drop position.
While he's got Grimes now on the Samoan drop section, Wes is cropped up on the turnbuckle.
Picks up Wes as well, so he's got all three on him.
All three
slams both. This was crazy.
He does basically. He looks like he takes like 2 or 3 steps, if that, and his knees are probably buckling. But yeah, Bronson Reed delivers a Samoan drop to 3 different people at the same time.
And
very crazy.
The
very
CWC
impressive.
are going absolutely nuts.
Holy
here.
shit chance again. Rightfully so.
Grimes then goes for a sunset bomb on Reed, and it takes all 3 of them to take him out with this huge power bomb.
Again, like another Tower of Doom spot, but now it's the 3 taking the big one guy out.
Grimes and Wes are running the ropes, and it looks like Grimes goes for the collision course, but like all these guys, they're working so fast, and this just didn't hit. But Wes was on it right away, so it looked like more like a crossbody.
Yeah,
and Wes goes to the pin immediately, and then they go right back to the spot. They run the ropes. This time, Grimes hits the collision course, and now Grimes goes to the cave-in, but Gargano ducks it and then hits his satellite into the Gargano escape. Great sequence here. Wes breaks that up with a senton. Reed comes in with a buckle bomb to Wes. It's a senton to Gargano, a senton to Grimes, and then climbs the second rope and presses Wes above his head and jumps, launching him on top of Grimes and Gargano. And this is where Ivar runs out. Ivar and Reed had a match last night on Raw that ended with like a double count out. It looks like they're having a bit of a feud.
So he chased him all the way here?
Ivar chased him here from Nashville to Florida.
He's in his gear.
Hits this huge spin heel kick, which looked pretty good. And then Wes is going for these combination of pin attempts to both Gargano and Grimes, and then eventually hits the cardiac kick on, I believe it was Grimes here, and picks up the win in a hell of a main event.
Yeah, I mean, seeing Mr. NXT, Johnny Gargano back, Johnny Wrestling, Cameron Grimes, and Reed, who have all been staples here in NXT, plus Wes, who also is just like an amazing character we've been able to watch wrestle here. And the 4 of them had insane chemistry. It was just a nonstop like clusterfuck of each guy messing around with other guys and doing incredible spots. I can't even tell you all the insane stuff. I mean, Bronson's slamming 3 guys at once. I know Johnny's kind of in the front when he slammed him, but like he had all 3 guys up at once. Crazy. It was very crazy. But also the spot where the Meteora is countered, like Wes landed on this guy's shoulders and he turned it into the DVD. Like, it's just insane. So actually, like, really impressed by Bronson Reed. I think he's stepped it up, and he's way better when he's got these guys to handle. Like, flying with these guys flying around, like he's
way better as a heel, right? Like his whole NXT run, he was pretty much a baby face, and it just didn't, like, he couldn't be the monster like he is here.
Because I remember him, with the Godzilla jackets, and like he's that's to me who he is, with these little helicopters flying around and he's swatting them away and stuff. He's really great in that role. And Grimes, unfortunately, hasn't hit on the main roster when, like, I think he's someone that could instantly become a star. Like, you let him talk, you let him wrestle, it will come out. And the same with Gargano, like one of the best main eventers. Have had some incredible matches, some of the best stuff I've ever seen in a squared circle, but still isn't being used properly. So they all get demoted to job out because Dom put them in this match. It's a little weird that this match came to play that way, but I'm not angry because we just got to see 4 guys.
And I'm glad they got the overrun as well, because I didn't feel robbed of any time on this at all. Like, this was just nonstop. I think it was just like put together so well, where you just had the constant, like Reed would come in and hit these like crazy power spots at all three guys, and then they'd have to team up, take him out, and then once he was out, it became more of almost like lucha stuff with the three of them just working so quick, being a little slighter and quicker. And then Reed would rise from the dead and do it all again. As you said, it's like Godzilla or King Kong, like swatting away these guys.
Great chemistry with all three.
This is one of the best, I think, WWE TV matches of the year. Like, I loved this. I thought this
really
was so good.
It makes me think back to, we used to be getting these Johnny matches like all the time, and it's just not. Anytime I've watched some of the stuff, hell, even DIY versus the Creeds didn't hit the way. It just felt not like accurate to what Johnny is capable. And I know Johnny wrestling isn't everyone's cup of tea, but in matches like this was like a indie match, like all four different guys going at it. Really, really loved it, and gave me a little flashback of some stuff I loved from some old days of NXT. But Wes wins. He gets his match. It is announced now. Dominik Mysterio versus Wes for the North American title. I imagine Wes wins it back, finally getting it back from Dominik.
I would think so.
Yeah.
And then that wasn't it.
So they're like, hey, we've gone 15 minutes overrun. We got to end the show, right? I even went, I have to pee so bad. I ran to the washroom. And as I'm in there, I hear you go, oh my God, and I went, is the show over yet?
So Roxanne and Kiana James are brawling in the parking lot. So I don't think either of these two are winning next week, because these two have to have a parking lot brawl or whatever.
Sure. Wow.
And that was NXT. But, you know, I really enjoyed this. I thought this week's was like bookended by two really good matches, especially the main event, which was excellent. And we got the, you know, continuation of the Chase U scandal.
Yeah, you know what?
I thought it was a fun show.
Yeah, it had some good wrestling. Definitely a storybook with the opening match being good, but really the main event showcasing easily the match of the night. Great TV match here. And I liked some of the other stuff. I love the ridiculousness of them teasing Duke Hudson and the poker player coming back to life and full circle there. I'm liking some of the stuff they're doing with the tag titles. I'm liking some of the wrestling as well. And I'm not going to lie. I'm not really looking forward to Deadline. I'm thinking this card is one of the weaker ones. I'm not a fan of those matches. The Iron Survivor matches, I'll never rewatch last year's matches, and I probably won't. Like,
I thought last year's was really good.
I thought it was good, but I didn't think they were great. Anytime you have a penalty box, I think of TNA and too many rules. Like, if you can't explain it, like the video, they showed it again. I'm happy they're using these videos. We kind of skipped over that, but like they had Sean last year, which didn't help it. So this year it already is explained a bit better. So I'll give them that. So.
I don't think it's particularly confusing.
No. But last year, Sean, like, he's like, anyways, you got to do this. And it was like, that didn't help me like get into it. So.
I think the men's one especially is going to be really good.
The men's one definitely has my attention, but
I think it's lacking. I don't think Ilya Corbin does a whole lot for me.
Nothing. For
Wes and Dom could be fun. But yeah, I don't think it's the strongest PLE, but I do think that men's Iron Survivor will be pretty damn good.
But that being said, the wrestling on NXT week to week is great. And if you're someone who's like, yeah, wrestling's great, but I need stories. Well, look at the stories. You got Chase U, you got all these other things going on. So yeah, it was really an entertaining show. Shout out to Andy in the chat who says, not gonna lie, I think NXT might be my favorite wrestling show this year. Which, like, yeah, there's been a lot of good wrestling on this show this year. So definitely has stepped up into the level of NXT we like.
All right. Well, that's what we thought. We do put up a feedback thread on the Poison Rana Facebook group. And do you have it open there? Do you want me to kick off?
Yeah, go for it.
We open with our champion, Fire Frank, who says, Duke looking upset and yet still holding up his trophy was everything. Can't believe he got hustled in poker by Stacks. 4-way ruled. Mello still seems guilty. I don't know. Dragunov is frightening when angry.
For some reason, I can't see the thing there, so you might have to read the next one.
We go to Manny from Pacoima, who says, what a fantastic main event brought to us by the greatest North American champion and greatest Mysterio of all time, the Dirty Don. Shout out Rhea for giving Dom some extra allowance so he could fly Big Bronson over to the CWC. Ilia versus Frazer was good. Give me a rematch, please. Arianna overcame her bully and the stench of the crowd. But onto serious matters. That man, Andre Chase, is a gambler. I don't know what's worse, drinking one glass of wine like that crazy party animal Kiana James, or losing all of your school's money on DraftKings, a proud sponsor of WWE PLEs. When will the madness end?
Yeah, never forget Kiana's wild days
Yeah.
where she had a glass of wine. That party animal. Lock her up. We go to finally, I'm sorry, I'm reading this week. Megan, who writes
Give it the justice it deserves, though.
takeover level shit in the four-way. It weaved in Bronson's issues with Ivar, and it put over Wes in a big, big way. The Mellow Trick saga got another step closer to reaching its apex with the security footage. If only those two saw that footage sooner instead of pussyfooting around the subject. Luckily, their skit addressed it. Frazer Dragunov was a nice sprint, and the two last chance four-way matches look good on paper to drive home the sense of urgency of making the deadline. Couldn't resist making a pun. Fun episode.
Thank you, Megan.
Thank you, Megan. Did I do it somewhat justice?
Yeah.
He wasn't too fired up here, but I know he'll be excited when Dom drops the title to Wes.
And we do have a super chat.
Whoa.
$5 sent in from Jake, who says, "Hey lads, if it was up to you, would you keep NXT on Tuesday when it moves to CW? And also, would you like to see more tapings outside of the PC?" For our work schedules, yeah, I'd kind of like it to stay the same.
Yeah, Tuesdays is fine. I mean, Tuesdays, what else happens on a Tuesday? Nothing really. At least I don't watch, real sports. So NXT is fine. It's been this way for a while. I've always focused on, we focus on doing a post show. So it wouldn't necessarily, they wouldn't go opposed to their own shows. And I don't think they'd go on a Wednesdays again. But anything is possible, especially the talks of all the TV deals and everything going around. You don't know, but I imagine we have Mondays and Fridays as our WWE and
I don't know if Friday is a certain.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's not a great day for them to run, and like that was Fox putting it on Friday. I could totally see SmackDown being a Thursday.
Wow, the way it used to
something. Yeah, or even a Tuesday, and that would bump NXT to something else.
And then NXT moving outside the PC. Yeah, we've talked about this. Always, like, it would be interesting if at least once in a while, the way they used to do
doesn't need to be a full touring product, but I think every now and then just freshening it up and being in a different like studio somewhere would be interesting.
Yeah. Thank you, Jake, and thank you everyone in the YouTube chat there, and everyone listening wherever you may be. We appreciate you. PoisonRana.ca for all the links of everything we do, at PoisonRanaPod on Twitter and Instagram, and hey, even TikTok there. We're trying, but we're millennials. We're born too late. What's that mean? We're born too late to own a house, born too young to understand how TikTok works.
Yeah. Something like that.
But thanks everyone for checking out our review here of course, postwrestling.com for all the stuff involving wrestling. John Away doing a fantastic job, and Andrew Thompson and John Stino and everyone else on the website. It's just been fantastic. And check out our patreon.com/poisonrana, $5 a month. Davey and I do so many shows. We mentioned Survivor Series 96, Best Match Ever, Kyrie, TNA Turning Point. There's so many podcasts out there, and we will be looking at Lord of the Rings, 2 Towers this week. So we're all over the map, but we got you covered with some pods for those entertaining times.
Yes, we do.
You need it. But yes, thanks everyone in the chat. I myself, Braden Herrington, Twitter, Instagram, at the Brady.
And you can find me at Davie Portman.
That's it. That's all. Take care. Goodbye. Be safe. And shout out Lexis King's beard.
I think that's how you ended it last week.
Well, I'm not here to make money. I'm here to make friends.
Ahoy!
First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking each day as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you can never really know what's up next.
Last week on the Poison Rana Patreon, we talked all about the ridiculous sci-fi adventure Krull, Best Match Ever Kairi Hojo, and also had a look at WWF Survivor Series 1996.
And these are the the baby faces, the Wild Man, the Stalker, Jake the Snake.
It's a fucking idiot wearing whatever the fuck the Rock's wearing. Why am I supposed to cheer for these guys? I should fucking call the cops on these guys. This looks scary.
Get this show plus NXT retro reviews, wrestling reviews, movie reviews, and so much more over at patreon.com/poisonrana, and it's only $5, so what are you waiting for?
What are you waiting